Welcome to 219 South Ohio. Thank you for taking a few moments to watch our video tour. In just a couple minutes we'll begin walking through the house and going through the different rooms. But before we get started, I just wanted to share a few general thoughts about the house to be able to give you some things to look for. And these are some things that I noticed when I first walked through the house and have come to appreciate more and more the 4 years that I've been here. So number one is just a big thank you to the original owners of the house that I purchased the house from 4 years ago. They moved in 1988, and it's clear that they took tremendous pride of ownership of this house and took tremendous care of it, both on the outside as well as the inside. And from the first moment that I walked through the front door, I could just tell that this was a house that was loved and cared for and appreciated, and so I've tried to maintain that myself these last 4 years. The second thing is just the overall quality of the build of the house as well as the finishes. And that's not to say that all of the finishes are brand new or that everything is exactly the way I would have picked it out or done it had I done some of the updates. But when I walked through the house, I realized that this was a home that was truly move-in ready, and that almost all the finishes just showed high quality without going overboard, which I really appreciated. So this is shown in some big ways as far as very low utility bills. I can get those numbers for you. The fact that I don't get a lot of bugs, which is amazing. Just so many different details, and hopefully we'll talk about some of those as we go through the house. But without further ado, we'll begin the tour. Okay, well here we are at the front door, the front entry foyer. So as you would come in the front door here, to the right is the entry into the formal living room with the French doors. To the left would be the staircase leading upstairs to the 4 bedrooms, and then you see the entrance into the house here. So one thing I'll just point out here is a pretty nice size coat closet as you enter here. Plenty of storage for coats or chairs and vacuum cleaner. I had looked at a lot of new construction houses or newer construction that weren't as many square feet, and I found that this was one detail that sort of goes by the wayside in some of those newer constructions. So I was thankful to have a nice coat closet there as you enter. So as you come in here, right off to the right, you'll see an updated main floor bath here with the granite countertops and the toilet there, a nice mirror and lighting. And then here we come into the kitchen off to the right, and the dining room through there, which we'll go through. And over here is the family room. So we'll come this direction. Right here, I guess we see this is the door down to the basement, which will go down, and here's the garage. But right off of the garage, which I really like, here we have our laundry room. And I purchased the washer and dryer new about 4 years ago, shortly after purchasing the house, and they will stay with the house. I got the 5-year extended warranty on these and haven't had to use it. They've been very reliable, some nice cabinets up above there. Really convenient to have the laundry right off of the garage entrance here. After doing yard work, you can just go straight into the laundry room, or in case you have a baseball player in your family that thinks you get extra runs the more you slide and the dirtier you get. That was me back in the day. So it's really nice to have that laundry room right off of the garage door there. So we come into one of probably my second favorite room of the house. And this is the family room, the vaulted family room. You see the gas fireplace there. Very, very spacious. On a couple different occasions I've had 2 big round, I believe 8-foot tables that seat 8 people around each of them, playing games and things like that in here. But it's also not too big in that I've had people around the edge of the room and able to have a good conversation and not feel like you're too spread out there. So there you see the gas fireplace with the vaulted ceiling that looks up to the upstairs loft, which we'll get to towards the end of the tour. And here are double Pella doors that lead out to a composite deck. Very nice, particularly this time of year in springtime and whatnot. Nice place to head out there for relax. And we can head back this way. As long as we're over here by the door to the basement, perhaps we'll go down there. I apologize that it seems like things are really zoomed in here, but this is as far out as this thing goes, so hopefully you're getting a sense for the dimensions of the house. So we'll head downstairs. Well-finished basement, not a whole lot to look at down here, but plenty of space. Just about all I have down here is a treadmill and a dehumidifier. Occasionally we set up a projector down here along this wall, which is always nice, very good for that. I think finished square feet in the basement is somewhere in the 700 to 800 range, but please double check what's in the listing on that. That's just off the top of my head. So this is probably, arguably, the driest basement in Morton, or at least it hasn't given me any problems, which is saying a lot for Morton. So here's the crawl space. Back in the corner, you'll see sump pump number 1. There are 2 sump pumps here because the people before me, again, they did not want to have any water in their basement. So 2 sump pumps and a basement dewatering system. So I think we're pretty well protected here. Right here underneath the staircase, I'll open this up. Here's a little storage for just about anything, but and we'll come over here to the basement bathroom. Nothing too fancy, but very functional. Nice sink and toilet, and then a shower that basically never gets used, but is still working. So we'll come back around over this way. This end of the basement, we'll look at sump pump number 2. Here is the second sump pump, also the radon mitigation system that the previous owners had installed. The water shutoff is over here. One very nice thing about this sump pump is that it's hooked up to the Morton water supply, so that if the battery goes down, it has the backup where it will immediately kick in even without power. So between those 2 sump pumps, and then we'll come into the utility room, and you'll be able to see probably the best view of the dewatering system. This was all done before I purchased the house, but there you can see it along the base edge of the room there. So again, I've had 0 problems with water here, which is saying a lot. Very thankful for that. Over there you see a very nice water softener that the previous owners had put in, as well as a reverse osmosis machine. Comes in handy. And the furnace is probably the only thing that I've had to have a significant repair done on. And by significant, I mean that I had to pay about $10 or $15 to have a fuse replaced. But all of the appliances and all of the utilities have functioned very, very well. One nice feature over here on this side of the basement, very large closet. Don't mind my Winnie the Pooh collection. Plenty of space from floor to ceiling, and it goes all the way through to the other side. With these double doors as well. So very ample storage there in the basement, in addition to what you would have in the utility room. So I'm not sure how the video is shooting here, if it's picking up just how, the decent size of the basement. It's not too big, but it's also not too small, very functional. So we'll head back upstairs and take a closer look at the kitchen. Nice eat-in area here in the kitchen. These are double sliding Pella doors. The other ones in the family room were hinged opening doors that led out to the composite deck, but these go out to a paver patio. And the previous owners liked to grill a lot, and so they would have a grill out there on the patio, and then you'd come right in here. You've got a little cabinet space there if you need to store some tools, and then you can drop your goods off right here on the peninsula. Not sure if you can see a good view of the backyard there. One thing I had been looking for in a house was a backyard where you could play a good game of catch, kind of a wide open space. This obviously doesn't have that. It's more of a shaded yard, more trees and landscaping, but just one step beyond our yard. You see you have as big of an area as you could ever want to play catch. That's the Lincoln Grade School back through those doors. And so you have the playground over there, you have the soccer field there. So very, very close to have plenty of room to run around. If you have children, I think couldn't ask for a better location because you're close to the school, but it's also not on the main street where you have to worry about a lot of extra traffic and whatnot. Over in that direction you can see a storage shed that the previous owners had. I didn't need to utilize that space, but it's good to have, and there's another view of the composite deck. So we'll come over here. You see granite countertops that are replaced. Nice stainless steel appliances. All of these appliances will stay with the home. And one other thing to point out is just the Roker kitchen cabinets, which I believe are original to the house, but obviously are holding up very, very well. We'll just take a peek inside here just so you can get a sense for the cabinets and whatnot. But not too much in terms of cabinet space, but certainly enough, I would say. And you've got another little area over there. Just want to backtrack just for a moment. Almost missed our pantry here. Can tell I like cereal and candy, but I'm sure it would be sufficient for whatever you need to store there. Nice to have that, very convenient. One other thing, one of the most frequent questions I get when people are over at the house for a potluck or whatever is, where is your garbage can? And I get to point out that it's right here, and that's always kind of gets a little bit of a reaction. Very convenient. And then just shuts and it's out of the way. So we'll go here through this door to the formal dining room. And here again is a very nice size room. When we've opened up this table all the way, we can easily, obviously, fit 8 people, sometimes even 10, around this table and have plenty of space between the walls and the buffet and the dresser and whatnot there. And if you want some extra privacy or want the guest to be dining quietly while the hostess or host is in the kitchen preparing things without the noise bothersome, that door comes in very handy. And then that weaves back around into the formal living room, which we don't use a tremendous amount, but it's certainly nice to have an alternate place to come and sit and be quiet. And it's also where I have the piano there. Not that I can play, but occasionally I have someone over here that can play, and it's always nice to sit and listen to them play the piano. And again, then you see the French doors that can be closed off. I had actually been looking for that feature in a house and was kind of surprised to see it when I walked through the house, and I asked the other owners why they had it set up. They had 3 children, and they thought, well, sometimes the parents are in here visiting and the children are off somewhere else playing when they have company, and it's just kind of nice to be able to shut those doors and have a little bit of a noise barrier between the children that are playing and the adults having their conversation as well. So nice big window here gets some natural light into the room. So with that, I think we'll head upstairs. Head upstairs, and to the right, all 4 bedrooms are to the right. Like I said, it's just me in the house, and so three of these bedrooms are completely empty, but nice size. Here's bedroom number 1. Nice natural light coming out of the west, and closet over in this corner. I believe this would be the smallest of the bedrooms, Bedroom 1 and 2 are about the same size. It's still, even here, a decent sized closet with access up to the attic there. I call this Jack's room because a good friend of mine has a little boy named Jack, and when they came over and looked at the house, he just ran around this room, and this carpet is extra soft, and he just ran around in circles and then would like to plop down on the fluffy carpet, so that this will forever be Jack's room. Bedroom number 2, I believe this is be about the same size as that other bedroom that we looked in. This gives a little bit of a view out to the street there on South Ohio, the cul-de-sac. Very family-friendly neighborhood, a couple families down there with lots of kids. Good neighbors on either side. Just a wonderful neighborhood. Here's a closet for this room. And we'll come over here to bedroom number 3. If I was going to replace carpet in any of the rooms, this would probably be it, but I just never had a motivation for it. The carpet's in good shape, but just not my color, but never had a need to replace it. So I figured, why change something, and so the future owners would have to change it again if it's not their taste. So here's another view out the window to the street below, driveway. This one has a much bigger closet. Shouldn't say much bigger, but noticeably. Plenty deep on both sides, pretty much the width of the entire room. At least it goes to the end of the room on that side, not quite on this side with the door, but still ample closet space there. We'll come across the hall to the main upstairs bath. And this is just about in the same condition as it was when I moved into the house. The previous owners, all of their children had been out of the house for many years, and so this did not get a lot of use. I'm not sure if I forget if they had any finishings or, what's the word I'm looking for, the shower cover. But I've never used the shower. Occasionally I'll run the water just to make sure that things are going okay to keep things moving, but basically a mint condition, a little bit of a nicer, fancier stool here, and then very similar finishings to the downstairs main floor bath as well, with a similar mirror and finishings and the granite countertops. Back this way is a linen closet, and again, that's a very deep closet with plenty of space to store items there. Very nice tub shower. And then just across the hall is the hallway linen closet. That's where I keep some of my toiletry and bath items, and then plenty of towels as well, up to the, just like the Tower of Babel, it seems like, all the way up to the heavens. And now we'll come into the master bedroom. So, fairly spacious master bedroom. There you see the bed, and plenty of space between the chest of drawers and the dresser there, and nightstands on both sides with plenty of extra space. I believe they had a TV stand set up there. I didn't do that, just enjoying the extra space. So if you come over here, this was one of the things that surprised me for the year this house was built. This is the walk-in closet. And I was pretty impressed that a house of this age had a walk-in closet that was that deep and this size, with the storage up above, and then very good size walk-in closet. And we'll come around here to the view of the modest master bath there. This has been updated by the original owners, I should point out. So we've got stool and sink, and then a very nice spacious walk-in shower there. You can see the mirror there and some of the finishings and whatnot. Very nice master bath. So we'll come back down the hallway, and in my opinion, I've saved the best for last, and I'm not sure if you read my description of the house and whatnot, but this upstairs loft area, which is part above the garage and part above the family room here. You know, when I was looking at the house, I thought, well, this is kind of wasted square footage. I'd rather have that square footage somewhere else. But I have found that this is the room where I spend probably the most amount of time when I'm awake, and that I'm going to miss the most. You see, I've got my desk set up here where I read and work on different things, and I've also got my computer desk over there. But I can't tell you how nice it is to be able to work at my computer, work at my desk, and not be staring into a wall, and just have a good open feeling looking down over the family room below. You've got some nice natural light with the skylight there. Even when it's raining and it's cloudy, it's nice to hear the pitter-patter of the rain on the skylight, and again, just not feel like I'm cramped up and closed in here. When I first bought it, I thought this would make a great craft room, hobby room, bedtime story room, homeschool room, computer room or office like it's being used for now. A lot of different purposes that it can be used for here. And again, my two favorite rooms that I'm going to miss are reading down there next to the fireplace, or listening to a record with having the vaulted ceiling up above, or being able to work at the desk or at the computer and again not feel so boxed in. That element is something that I can't duplicate where I'm going now, and I'm going to miss it very much. So I hope that whoever does end up with this house will be able to appreciate that to a certain degree. So we'll go ahead and conclude our tour here. But again, please, if you have any questions or want to discuss things, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.